Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing part 2 of my Sephora sale haul. So we're going to try everything that I did not try in part 1. So if you didn't watch part 1, make sure you watch that. But this is everything I didn't try in that video, and also a few things that I purchased online as well that you haven't seen yet. But we're going to try it all today. I don't think I have as many things as the first time, but maybe we do. I don't really know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I have quite a few things to try with you. I do have the Gucci Skin Tint, of course the new Huda Corrector. I have the Fara Homidi bronzer and some other fun things too. So let's go ahead and get into it. But if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to subscribe if you have not already. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, I want to start and apply a little bit of this. I did use this in my first video, but I'm going to use it again. I've been loving this product from Experiment. This is the Hydrating Barrier Serum. I really like this. This is great if you are looking for a serum to apply before makeup, especially if you have dry skin. This is fantastic. It's really thin, but it gives your skin like, I don't even know how to describe it. It just has like a bounciness to it. It's really, really nice and it feels great. Oh, and I was going to mention too, last video I showed this serum and I guess Experiment saw that video and they did give me a discount code for you if you're interested in trying anything. I know that the Sephora sale is going on right now, so the code that I have is Blair15, so it'll save you 15%. I know if your rouge, you save 20% at Sephora, but in case you see this video once the Sephora sale is over, I do have a discount code with them that's Blair15. And for SPF, I'm just going to use this one from Creal. This is not new, but this has kind of been the one I'm using lately. All right, let's get into the makeup. So the first thing that I did get, I ordered this. This is the new Gucci Glow Skin Tint. I honestly haven't seen too many reviews of this, but it looked really good online. So I'm excited to try this. I have tried a Gucci foundation in the past. I forget the name of it, what it was, the really full coverage one. But, oh, and I've tried the Gucci concealer before, but I don't know that they've ever had like a skin tint type of product. So I'm excited to try this, but it's just in a squeeze tube bottle, which honestly I really like. And I got the shade Fair Medium 24. So let's see what this says. It says it's 89% skincare base with hyaluronic acid, licorice root, bakuchiol, all kinds of things. Good for hydration, skin texture, a healthy looking glow with light coverage. So this is Fair Medium 24. It looks like it should be a pretty good shade. Ooh, it feels really good. All right, I'm just gonna get some off the back of my hand. Honestly, this type of product makes me want to like squirt it directly on my face, but I try not to do that because every time I do, I wish I didn't. So I'm just gonna kind of dot this on. So this feels like a very similar texture to the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. If you're familiar with that product, that's kind of what this feels like. So I'm excited to try this. Okay, I'm gonna use my 115 from BK Beauty as always. I will say I had kind of a hard time picking a shade in this because the fair shades looked really fair to me, and then once you got to the fair medium shades, they got significantly darker, so I wasn't really sure about the shade. But since it's like a lighter coverage skin tint type product, maybe it'll be okay because it looks a little bit dark for me right now, but if I use concealer that is closer to what I normally do, it should be okay. Okay, so yeah, it's blending in really, really fast, but yes, it definitely reminds me feel-wise and even look-wise, now that I look at my skin, of the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. All right, so there it is, blended in. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit dark for me. I think we can fix it with concealer though, but this is what it looks like. It's very pretty, but it does really look like the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. Like up close, it really reminds me of that. There is no noticeable like shimmer in it, but it definitely gives like kind of like a pearlescent looking glow to the skin. And I would agree, it's definitely light coverage to me. It's not emphasizing like pores to me in this area, but it's not really smoothing looking either. I also don't have super large pores, but it does, I feel like it might magnify texture or pores if you struggle with that. But it is pretty. It does give quite a bit of glow though. So if you don't like glow, I would say definitely stay away from this. It says it's a skin perfector with a radiant finish. It does look nice, but it is quite glowy and radiant. So if you're not a fan of that, you probably would not love that about this. It also kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal Le Glow tint. Is that what it was called? The one that came out this last summer that's supposed to be like L'Oreal Lumi Glotion with tint. That's actually what this reminds me of. So if you like products like that, you would probably love this because honestly, it really does look like that. All right, let's move into Corrector. I'm so excited to try this. I've been waiting to try this with y'all because I knew I was going to film a part 2 of my haul. But this is new from Huda Beauty. This is their new repackaged faux filter color corrector in a new shade, which is Peach Light. I cannot wait to try this. I am hoping that this is a good shade, and I am hoping that this packaging is fixed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the previous packaging of this concealer leaked everywhere. It made the biggest mess ever. So I finally just kind of quit using it and quit recommending it because I just hated the packaging and it drove me nuts that it made such a mess. But this is the shade Peach Light, and it looks like it's gonna be a good corrector shade for me. I love this formula. It's very thin, very lightweight. I loved the old one. I just kind of quit using it because of the packaging issue, but I'm hoping maybe we fix that now. But let's go ahead and try this out. It's been a while since I've used this formula, so I'm gonna start with that. Let me actually, while I let this sit, I'll get my old one out and show you what I'm talking about in case you've never seen the old packaging. Okay, so here is the old packaging, and I'll open it up and show you what it does. Do you see all that? It made the biggest mess. It's a great product though, so I'm hoping maybe they fixed it. So this is the shade Cherry Blossom, which is another nice shade that I like. This one is much more pink, and then the other one I have is Pink Pomelo, which is much more peach. So this is the new shade in Peach Light. That up there is Pink Pomelo, and that is Cherry Blossom. So you can see there's quite a difference. This one, in terms of the tone, kind of falls in between these two, which I think they definitely needed in this range because even the lightest shades that they had before were still not super light. So if you had an extremely fair skin tone, those would probably not work for you. But let's go ahead and blend that Peach Light shade. I don't actually remember how much time you have with this formula to blend. So it blended very nicely. It looks like a good shade. Ooh, yeah, that looks really nice actually. So that shade is a little bit, it's kind of a shade where I could probably get away with it on its own, even if I didn't put concealer on over it, just because the overall tone of it is very similar to the depth of my skin, but it's that peachy tone and it blends in really nicely, honestly. There's also another new shade called Cherry Light, and that one I looked at, it is extremely light, like it's almost white. It's supposed to be like a really light pink, but it's so light that it looks white to me, so I did not get that. But this one is looking very promising. Okay, yeah, that corrector I'm kind of liking. Looks like the perfect tone for my under eyes. And I could honestly get away with it on its own. Kind of similar to the Cali Ray corrector in Radiant, which I think I might actually have it out here. Okay, so here is the shade from Cali Ray that this is kind of reminding me of. Actually, Cali Ray is even lighter. So we've got Cali Ray in Radiant, and this is the new Peach Light. So actually, the Huda one's a little bit darker than that one, which seems to be working really well for me. So fingers crossed they fix the packaging on this, because if so, I can probably start recommending this again because I loved this one before. The more I look at this Gucci tint on my face, it's almost like it's kind of setting down a little bit more. Like it looks a little bit more smooth on my skin or something, and it's been like 10 minutes since I applied it. I don't know, it looks a little bit different now in the mirror than it did earlier. But let's go into concealer. So I did pick up a different shade of one of my favorites, which is the Creal Face Flex. So they recently expanded the shade range on this concealer. I have the shade number 1, and that one works fine for me, but this one is shade 1.5, and this looked like a good shade online at least. So that is shade 1.5 right there. I think it's supposed to be a neutral undertone. It looks slightly yellow to me, but I have that. And then I also have the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. I picked this up because they recently reformulated this. I owned this concealer a long time ago when it came out the first time, and I liked it, but I'm pretty sure they have updated the concealer formula. So this is the Best Skin Ever from Sephora. That one is in shade 8, and this one is Creal in 1.5. I want to add something that's lighter than the skin tint to kind of lighten it up a little bit and see if we can get any more coverage. So I guess we'll try the Creal first. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this kind of all over just to lighten that Gucci tint. And then we might use the Sephora collection under the eyes. I'm gonna start blending that in with the 115 brush. I know a lot of you told me that you bought this concealer during the Sephora sale. So if you did, I want to know what you think in the comments, because I really, really love this one. All right, I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes dissecting this skin tint, and I'm gonna change my mind. It does not look very good. It does not look very good. This is one of those products that looks pretty good from a distance, but it does not look good up close. It is not sitting great on my skin, and it's gonna be so hard to see this on the camera. Even if I turn the light down, I don't think you're gonna be able to see it. But it is not sitting great on my skin. If you look really close, it's a little bit streaky looking, like, I don't know. It's just not smooth looking on my skin. Obviously from far away, you wouldn't know that, but up close, there's something about it that just isn't sitting great. But then like if you look from far away, it looks decent. I don't know, but up close, I'm not loving it. And I'm gonna take back what I said earlier. I do think it is emphasizing pores in this area. I also think it looks slightly dry on my skin. Yeah, I think it looks slightly dry on my skin, which I don't have dry skin. I did when I was pregnant, but I don't anymore. My skin is pretty normal. I definitely wouldn't call it hydrating though, and that's definitely one of the claims on here. So I don't know. It's also kind of doing a weird thing. Like right here, I kept putting that Creal concealer in this area. It won't apply right there for some reason. It's like makeup is not wanting to stick on top of that skin tint right there. It's looking very similar to the L'Oreal Le Glow tint for a lot more money. All right, I am gonna use the Best Skin Ever concealer under my eyes, and we'll see what we think of this. I remember liking this years ago when I tried it. Typically Sephora collection makeup, in my opinion, is really good. I think it's pretty underrated, honestly. So I'm excited to try this again. I almost got the Best Skin foundation also. Okay, really like the concealer. It's very, very thin, but gives pretty good coverage. Anyway, what I was gonna say is I almost got the Best Skin Ever foundation because I tried that years ago also, and I remember liking that too, but I figured I would just get the concealer for now. I got the shade 8 in the Sephora concealer because it had more of like a pinky undertone, which is what I typically like for under my eyes. But okay, very thin, very easy to blend, very good coverage. I'm liking the concealer, not liking the skin tint. All right, I have a powder bronzer to try. Before we apply it, I'm gonna do just a really light wash of powder over my face just to make sure that nothing is tacky and things don't turn out badly. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the pressed Givenchy powder and a fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna lightly go around my face, like I'm barely touching it at all. I just want to make sure that this bronzer can go on smooth. I do also have the Givenchy bronzer that we tried in part 1, and I kind of want to try that without cream underneath, but I really want to try this because this has been on my loves list for months. Ever since I saw Tanya Wells try this, I wanted it. And this shade has been out of stock, but this is from Fara Homidi, and it's the Essential Bronzer. This has been out of stock forever, and this is a pricey bronzer. But I wanted this specific shade, which is the lightest one in Bois. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so I'm not even gonna try, but it's the lightest shade in Bois. I don't know if it's Bois, maybe? I have no clue, but this feels like a paperweight. It is so heavy. And this is my first time trying anything from this brand. I do have a lip liner that we're gonna try from the same brand, but I'm not familiar with this brand at all. I just saw Tanya using it, and Tanya influences me probably the most on YouTube. I just think she's so pretty and I love her makeup style. She just always looks great to me. So she always influences me. But she used these bronzers a few months ago now, and I was just mesmerized and I really wanted to try it. So this is a super light bronze. So you can see there. Almost has like a slight gray tone to it, or that's at least how it looks in the swatch. But do you see this beautiful sheen that it has? It feels so nice. So I have high hopes for this, and I want to love it because something else about me, I think I've mentioned this in videos here and there, I don't have a powder bronzer that I just love. I have some that I like I like the Hourglass bronzer, I like the House Labs bronzer, but I don't know, there's not like a holy grail bronzer for me, do you know? All right, we're gonna use, I guess, this brush because I have it out here. This is the 111 from BK Beauty. It's a pretty dense brush, but I'm assuming it's gonna be okay since this is a lighter bronzer. Very pretty and very subtle. It almost has like a little bit of like a beigey rose kind of undertone, which if you have a lighter skin tone can be really flattering, kind of like the Gucci bronzer, the Gucci powder bronzer. But that one is way more pigmented than this. But this is definitely on the lighter side, so if you are any darker than me, this shade is probably going to be too light for you. Okay, it's blending absolutely perfectly. Oh my gosh, I think I really like this. This is gonna be a beautiful eyeshadow too, I bet. Okay, yeah. That is stunning. So natural looking on the skin. If you're around my skin tone and bronzers tend to look like too much on you, too orange, you can't find one that's a good undertone for you. Sad to say, I think I might have found it. Unfortunately, this bronzer is very expensive. I'm bringing some down my neck too because that skin tint is a little bit dark for me. Okay, yeah, so the bronzer is an immediate yes. This is refillable, so at least if you were to go through it, you can buy a refill. You don't have to repurchase the whole compact, but yeah, I love that. Okay, I'm actually like stunned by the bronzer. It is so beautiful. If you're looking for a powder bronzer and you like one that has a sheen to it, this one is stunning. I'm sorry to influence you on that one, but it is beautiful. Let's move into blush. I have a cream and a powder. I should probably use the powder since we just used a powder bronzer. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Crayon in Wherever Walnut. So maybe we'll just try a little bit of this and hope for the best, but this is the shade Wherever Walnut right there. It's a really beautiful, kind of like a terracotta rose. But I also have the YSL blush in the mauve color, which is pretty too. But I really want to try this formula. So let's just go for it. And if it turns out bad, then oh well, that's okay. We're just testing stuff today. So I'm gonna get some on my brush and then I'm gonna kind of tap off on the back of my hand here and just start pressing this in and hopefully it works okay, but if not, that's all right. Okay, that actually applied pretty well over powder, which is good to know. Such a pretty tone. I bought this thinking, honestly, I'd probably use it as like a blush and a bronzer because the tone of it is very like a terracotta color, but it has some of that pinky rose in it. So I will probably try using it without any bronzer next, but I wanted to try it with the bronzer also. Has anyone tried these Makeup Forever Artist Crayons? There's so many. There are contour ones, there's highlighter ones, there's so many colors of these, it's kind of overwhelming. It's a very pretty formula though, and actually it's applying fine over the powder. Honestly feel like that's kind of one of those makeup rules that's not true. You know how you always hear, oh, you can apply creams over powders? Yes, you can. You totally can. Now, some formulas obviously work better than others applied like that, but that's like such an outdated makeup thing that we all hear about. I just feel like it's not true. I do like this though. Let me know. Have y'all tried these? Have you tried other colors? I almost got Anywhere Caffeine in this one, but that one looked really brown, so I didn't think it would really work as a blush on me, whereas I thought this would kind of work as both. All right, I think that's actually everything for the face. So I'm gonna do my brows quickly and then I'll be back and we'll move into eyes. I don't have a ton for the eyes, just like one or two things. So we're gonna do like a very, very, very quick, simple eye look. But I'm gonna quickly do my brows and I'll be back. All right, let's move into eyes. I don't really have too much that's brand new, but I do want to use this again. So this is the new Merit Solo Shadow Sheen. So I used a little bit of this in part one, but we also used a ton of those Patrick Ta eyeshadows, so you couldn't really see much of this one, but this is the shade Glace, which is a really light pink, basically just a very neutral light shimmer shade. That is it there. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna put this on my bare lids and then maybe we'll use that bronzer on the eyes or something. I go over my lids because I brought a little bit of my concealer there earlier. I'm just gonna use my finger and apply this on my eyes. There weren't a ton of shades that I really, really liked, so that's why I went with this one. There was one that was a little bit too orangey bronzy, and then there was one that was a little bit deep, like not really an everyday shade for me. I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of the colors, but I did like this one. So there it is on my lid. So it's basically just like a wet looking neutral shadow, cream shadow. And I didn't put on any primer or anything underneath. So I'm wondering how these will wear, if they'll crease or if they kind of set down, because I'm not sure. Because we had on a lot of other things in the other video. But, oh, I actually do have this. Let's use a little bit of this. So I bought a random Sephora single shadow. This is the shade My Dear Nude. And this, they also recently relaunched these. Sephora collection does that a lot. They'll like completely clearance out an entire product and then bring it back in new packaging, or sometimes they reformulate. It just kind of depends. But this shade is obviously just a very basic nude. But I'm always kind of looking for the perfect one and done eyeshadow that's like there, but not really. Kind of like a barely there shadow. So I picked this up because I like the color. So maybe we'll use a little bit of this. It's kind of a cooler toned matte brown. But I did want to say, if you pick these up, there's definitely a packaging flaw with these new ones. So they snap, obviously, but they are so hard to open. And I was reading some of the reviews just to see if it was just me that was thinking this, and a lot of the reviews said the same thing. So somebody messed up with the packaging here. There's definitely an issue. So if you buy one of these, keep that in mind, because there's definitely an issue with the lids. But I'm going to take just a little bit of that color, and I'm going to go kind of in the outer corner of the eye and then in the crease as well. And we'll do very quick, easy, everyday eye look, which is what I do most of the time anyway. I'm always looking for matte shadows though that are like the perfect tone. They're neutral, they're not too gray, they're not too orangey, and I feel like that can be kind of hard to find sometimes. So whenever I see one that looks like it might be a good option for that, I usually buy it just to test it. This actually does look like a pretty good color. I am going to take a little bit of the bronzer because I just have to, and I'm going to bring that in the crease as well. I'm going to kind of focus it on this inner part of the eye. That bronzer is beautiful. It is so subtle. Sometimes that's the most beautiful makeup to me, is when it looks so subtle and natural. So it's like you're wearing makeup, but like not really. That's what this shade is for my skin tone. I'm taking a little bit of that bronzer also on the lower lash line. And that's all we're gonna do for the eyes. That's all I really have for eyeshadows. I know, so exciting, so just intricate. But you know what? This is the kind of stuff that I wear. I do have a new eyeliner that I want to try. So this is from Kosas, and it's their Soulgazer Intensifying Gel Eyeliner. So one of you, maybe multiple of you, have told me that you love this eyeliner and that you repurchase it during the sale. I went back and tried to find the comments where I saw this, and then I couldn't find it again. So if that's you and you love this and you're watching this video, leave me a comment and let me know, because I went back and tried to find you, but I couldn't. But this is a beautiful shade. So this is a really nice matte, warm brown. This is called Depth from Kosas. And I'm very curious to try this. I've never tried this from Kosas. In fact, this is one of the only things I haven't tried from that brand. So I've been doing this new thing with liner that I saw Nikki LaRose do, where she kind of sticks the liner right here in this spot where your lower lash line and your upper lash line meet, and then she gently kind of flicks out from there, and it gives you like the perfect angle for your eye. I saw Nikki, I don't remember if it was in a YouTube video or on a, maybe it was an Instagram or a TikTok, I can't remember. Ooh, that's a beautiful color. But I'm just gonna lightly line my eyes with that. And then I'm doing just that tiny little wing. And then let's see, this does come with a little smudger thing on the other end. I don't always use these, to be honest, but it is kind of handy to have if you don't have a brush with you. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna take a brush instead. This is, I think, a 210 from BK Beauty, yeah. It's kind of a little dome pencil brush. I just find this to be a lot easier than the little smudger tool. And then I'm gonna use that same eyeliner in the waterline. Hopefully this formula works for that. All right, I did some mascara. I didn't have a new one, so I didn't film it, but let's do the lips now. So of course I have a new lip liner because I just can't help myself when it comes to lip liners, but this is also from Fara Homidi. It's the Smudge and Contour Lip Pencil. And I've seen several people talk about these, but I've never tried the lip liners. I've never tried this brand until today. But this is the shade Faun, which looks like a really beautiful neutral brown. So that is the shade Faun right there. That looks like such a good color. Okay, yeah, I love that shade. Definitely more of a contour color though. It looks a little bit cooler, honestly, on my lips than it did in the swatch. That pencil is nice. Kind of reminds me of the Westman lip liners if you've tried those. Even the pencil itself kind of feels like the Westman ones. It does also come with a sharpener. I forgot to say that, but I like that color. Let's do another lip product. So this is the m.ph Lip Ciggy, the hydrating lipstick. I wanted the lip liners, but all the shades I wanted to try are out of stock right now. So I did get one of her Lip Ciggies. So this is what it looks like. It's a really thin, skinny, balmy lipstick. And this is the shade Crush, which is kind of a pinky, like a rosy pink, I guess. That's it there. So you can see it's really sheer, very, very hydrating, glossy, balmy, which is my favorite kind of lip product. So let's try this. Not a lot of color, so it's very sheer. So if you like something with more pigment, you probably wouldn't like this formula. Nothing special, like I've never seen before, but it's nice. And one more thing. All right, I bought this for the final time, and if I don't like it this time, then I'm done trying this product. I bought one of the Rhode Peptide lip tints. I have purchased these a few different times since Rhode launched. I want to say I bought it back when the brand first launched, and for whatever reason, the ones that I got had little granules of something in them, kind of like a lip exfoliator. And I've seen other people say the same thing. I don't know if that is an issue that they fixed at some point or what, but I bought this one final time to test it out in case they fixed this issue when they launched in Sephora. So it feels like actually maybe they did, because I don't feel anything. My last one, it literally felt like a lip exfoliator. It had little hard granules of something in it. I don't know, or maybe the formula changed. I'm not sure. But this is the shade Toast, which is a really beautiful nude. Okay, it feels good on my lips this time. So hopefully they fixed that issue, but I wanted to mention it because I've seen several reviews over the last few years that said the same thing. All right, that is everything we're gonna try today. That's everything I picked up. Actually, no, there's one more thing I wanna share with you because it's that good, okay? The other thing that I ordered online is a hairbrush, and this is so random, and normally I would not spend this amount of money on a hairbrush. In fact, I've never spent more than like $12 on a hairbrush before, but I've needed a new brush for a long time, but I wasn't really sure what to get. So when I was placing my Sephora order, I was looking at the m.ph line, which is a newer brand to Sephora, I think, and I found this brush. So it's a boar bristle, or I guess it's like boar bristle, and then it has like just regular plastic bristles also. It's like a combo, but it's their round, like medium-sized brush. And okay, this is the best hairbrush I've ever used, and I'm not kidding. Sadly, I think it's out of stock. I will link it just in case it comes back, but this is the best hairbrush I've ever used. I don't even know how to explain it, but my hair is very thick. It tangles very easily. I just have a lot of hair, and it's hard to brush sometimes with certain brushes. Not with this. This does an excellent job of brushing through my hair. Excellent job. I don't feel like it's snagging my hair, breaking it, pulling it, anything, and it's pretty, which I wouldn't care if it was a great brush if it wasn't. It's just a bonus that it is. But I wanted to put it in here in case it's back in stock, in case you are looking for a new hairbrush. If you have thick hair, coarse hair, honestly, any hair type would probably like this, but my hair is very thick, very coarse. I have a lot of it, and I absolutely love this. It is a pricey hairbrush. I think it was $52, and then I got 20% off, so still expensive for a hairbrush, but you know what? I do not regret this purchase at all. I love it. So I wanted to put it in here in case you're looking for one. Love that one from m.ph. But let's kind of go over my thoughts on these products. The Gucci Skin Tint. Honestly, I'm kind of torn on. I'm very confused by this product because now that I've got everything else on my skin, it looks a little bit better. Probably because we've got other products on my skin that have kind of counteracted what I was not liking. So it looks better, but honestly, it's still, I don't think I like this. And I'm very sad to say it because this is very expensive, but something about this is just not sitting great on my skin, and it just wasn't applying evenly. I don't know, it was kind of sitting in weird places on my skin. I don't know, I'm gonna keep trying it. Maybe I'll change my skin prep. I do think I need to shave my face, which always makes everything look better. But overall, I think this is an overpriced L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I thought I had decluttered this, but I looked in my drawer a minute ago and realized I still had it. I'm gonna swatch these side by side. Now, I will say the texture is different. The L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, Glow Tint, excuse me, is thinner. It's more liquidy. This one is on the thicker side from Gucci, but I swear on the skin, they're reminding me of each other. So this is Gucci up here. This is L'Oreal Glow Tint. I swear they look like the same product. And I was not a huge fan of this. I didn't hate it, but I did think it slightly emphasized everything on my face, which I don't have large pores. I don't have a lot of texture on my skin, and I still thought that this kind of emphasized things a little bit. That's why I don't really use it. And I feel the same way about the Gucci tint. So my first impression of this is I would probably skip this. Sadly, I was hoping I was gonna love it. But I don't know, something about it is just not sitting great on my skin. And you may not be able to see it because you have to really look close, like this close. But you gotta trust me, it doesn't look that good up close. It looks good from a distance, it doesn't up close. And I remember thinking the exact same thing about this product when I tried it. This I'm excited about, the new Huda Corrector in Peach Light. I'm hoping so bad that the packaging is better on this and it doesn't start to leak out. I will keep trying it and I'll let you know. It is kind of starting to leak out on the top rim right here, but I'm hoping maybe it won't start coming out of the sides because I really like this new shade. I would say this formula kind of falls in between my two favorites right now. So the Cali Ray Hideaway and the Kosas. This is kind of in between. It's a little bit more coverage than the Cali Ray. Similar consistency to the Cali Ray, but not quite as much coverage as the Kosas. So this one kind of falls in between to me. But impressed with this. I'm liking it so far. I already knew I liked the Sarah Creal concealer. The Face Flex, I love it. It's expensive, but it's a beautiful concealer. Very thin, very just beautiful on the skin, great coverage. I knew I liked that. I also am very impressed with this Sephora Best Skin Ever under the eyes. I thought it looked great over that Huda Corrector. So we got to keep testing it, but I'm excited about that too. But the other thing that I'm the most excited about is the bronzer. I'm sorry to say it, but this I highly recommend. This is one of the prettiest bronzers I've ever seen, powder bronzers on my skin. It looks so pretty, so natural, easy to apply, not patchy, beautiful tone. Even though it looks like nothing when you swatch it, it looks so pretty on the skin. Very pricey, but this one, sorry, but I gotta say I like that. I like it a lot. The Makeup Forever Artist Pencil, also very beautiful. I want to try this on its own though without bronzer underneath to really see what I think of it, but it's a very creamy formula. It is matte. I don't know if I said that earlier, but it is a matte cream. So there's no shimmer, sheen, none of that. It's just a matte cream, but it did apply pretty well over the powders on my face. So I'm happy with this, but I want to keep testing it. For the eyes, Sephora eyeshadow. Like the color a lot. So just, I mean, it's a very basic neutral tone, but I'm telling you something, like I just got it with my fingernail, but something is wrong with the lid on these. So if you get one, keep that in mind. You may have to pry it open with something. The Merit shadow, very pretty. I want to see how well it wears throughout the day though. I will put a note here and I'll put a note in the description box too. I have a feeling this is going to crease really badly on my lid throughout the day, but it does look pretty. I like it with that just plain matte shadow in the crease. I love that kind of eye look. That kind of stuff I just love. So that I like, but I want to see how it wears. Kosas eyeliner I really like. It's very creamy. It was very easy to apply, work with, smudged out really well. So far, there's no transfer on the lower lash line, so I'm happy with that. And okay, the lip products. The Fara Homidi lip pencil. I like it. I mean, it's a pretty expensive lip liner, but I do really like this shade. It's a good contour shade. I will update the description box on this as well if I think it's long wearing, but I like the shade. I like the turquoise blue packaging too, I gotta say. The Lip Ciggy from m.ph. Okay, this is nothing special. It's not. I mean, there's 1,000 products on the market that look like this. Some high-end, some drugstore, but it's nice. I do like how tiny it is and how precise it is. I don't know why, but I kind of like that. But this is basically like a lip balm with a little bit of tint to it. So is it bad? No. Are you probably going to have to reapply this over and over? Yes. Are there 1,000 products like this on the market? Yes. So I think it's nice, but not a necessity. And then the Rhode lip tint. Okay, I like it on top of this lip combo, and it does not feel grainy to me right now. But I will keep testing it and let you know. Maybe they fixed the issue. I hope maybe they did. I really like this color in Toast. But I think that's everything. Those are my thoughts on these new products. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I will link everything for you. I think this is going up on the last day of the Sephora sale, I'm pretty sure. So keep that in mind if you want to try anything. You got a little bit of time left before the sale ends. But everything will be listed and linked with my shades on the screen in YouTube shopping and in the description box. If you shop through any of my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel. So thank you so much for that. If you're new, I would love for you to subscribe, stick around. If you haven't seen part 1, I will link it at the end of this video. And make sure you're following me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you. Bye.